When you want some bad guys fought, this little baby just might be the best super yet. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Jack powers explained.
You have powers! Yeah, baby!
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at all the abilities of the youngest Parr family member from the Incredibles franchise, previously believed to have no powers at all. It turns out in the sequel that he could have upwards of 17. Good luck keeping up with that, Parr family. Also, a spoiler alert is now in effect.
Something's happening. What's happening?
Number 10. Full Metal Baby. This is a briefly seen power, but one that definitely came in handy while attempting to get away from Syndrome in the first movie. And though this ability isn't seen in the second film, it is one that is difficult to forget. At any given moment, it appears that Jack can make himself extremely heavy by turning his entire body into a bulletproof metal. This is especially useful when trying to slip through a baddie's fingers, as previously mentioned, or if in the future he finds himself in the middle of a gunfight. Number 9. Inhuman Strength. This ability could come directly from his dad. After all, we've seen what type of feats Mr. Incredible is capable of, breaking through walls and carrying several people at once. For Jack though, in Incredibles 2, we get a taste of what could be in his fight with that dastardly raccoon. The baby easily kicks the surprised animal nearly all the way across the backyard. And when the masked creature still won't leave, Jack manages to pick up a lawn chair with one hand and fling it at the animal. And all of this is done without any visible struggle at all. Number 8. Blobbing. Picture the blob, a formless object that seems impossible to kill or even maim because of its rubber-like quality. Now picture a baby or even a full-grown human with those same traits. That is exactly what Jack can become. When compared to other entries on this list, this ability is barely seen in the sequel, but it's still one that could be pretty creepy, even when based on appearance alone. And it is definitely a power that can come in handy, seeing as how it obviously keeps Jack from being harmed by the thieving raccoon. Number 7. Telekinesis.
Stop right there! Thief! Thief!
Most of Jack's powers seem random and have no purpose outside of small scenes. Or else they seem to be used to make the audience laugh because of how stressed he makes his dad. But Jack actually uses this one to save his mother, and perhaps even the whole day. The ability to move things with only the mind is one that we all know well, from the Force in the Star Wars franchise to even Roald Dahl's Matilda. In Jack's case, he seems to have a very good understanding of this power, but he saves it for when he truly needs it. Number 6. Flame Baby. This was definitely one of the biggest surprise reveals of the first Incredibles movie. And as far as anyone knew at that point, only one now very dead man got to witness it. We of course find out in Jack Attack that babysitter Kari also saw a baby on fire, but her memory was wiped. And yes, that's right, a baby on fire. But even though this tiny human torch lights a path of destruction everywhere his tiny feet carry him, the flames don't harm Jack at all. Luckily though, or unluckily, he can easily be put out with water or a fire extinguisher of any kind, even one inside his own suit.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
Number 5. Laser Eyes. Laser eyes are pretty cool, right? Well, maybe for the person who has them. In this case, Jack seems to have multiple options for his. There's a steady beam that creates problems for humans and smaller animals alike. This seems to come in either green or purple, but it's still unclear if the different colors have different capabilities. Then there's the pew option, as Bob and Dash like to call it, with which the baby can shoot the lasers as a pulse.
No firing the baby around the house.
So uncool.
These eyes' only downfall, they can be diverted by a mirror. Number 4. Piecemeal shapeshifting or mimicry. So this was very unexpected. While all of Jack's powers seem to come out of nowhere, most are caused by outside stressors, like the lack of a cookie. But this particular power isn't caused by any duress. It seems like the young par just wanted to show off. Or maybe this is his way of showing he understands a person. Either way, within minutes of meeting Edna Mode, he transforms part of his face to match hers. He even manages to get his hair to look like hers. Imagine what he could do with that once it's honed.
You'll hurt no less when I kill you in this form.
Very well. Perhaps you prefer one of your new companions, given that you seem to like them so much.
Oh, this is much better.
That, combined with his ability to multiply himself at will, is both a fascinating and frightening thought. Number 3, interdimensional wormhole creation and travel.
What the?
Cookie. Cha-Cha want a cookie?
This is, as Lucius puts it, the ability to move through dimensions at will is admittedly pretty cool, as all Jack's powers are. But it's also a little creepy, especially since people in his home dimension can still hear him and he can hear them while he does it.
You're not.
Cookie.
Oh my God!
Cookie.
It's almost like that Twilight Zone episode Little Girl Lost, except this little boy seems to have control over his power. It's also worth noting that the young par can teleport to and from any place he wants. Useful when taunting a villain in the future, perhaps? Most definitely. But scary right now when he could easily get trapped or lost, right? Oh, heck yes.
He can still hear you
From the other dimension, yeah.
That is freaky.
Number 2, walking through matter. We first get a sampling of this power in the DVD short Jack Attack. In fact, as you may well know, a handful of the entries on this list are first sampled in that short, and of course, the first film. But this one in particular is used a lot more in the second film of the franchise. Whether Jack is blasting through the ceiling, running away from his babysitter brother, or trying to fend off an evil raccoon, we see Jack has started to get a good baby-sized grip on this ability. And those electric pulses that come with his disappearances and reappearances, they're molecules needed to make way for this tiny incredible.
Something just flew in me!
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I have a question about Jack. Can you call me?
Number 1, Demon Baby.
And Jack is a baby and is all just nothing but possibility. You don't know what he can do yet.
An angry Jack equals a demon Jack. When this little baby is overly upset in any way, he turns into what appears to be a tiny devil or demon with some massive strength and very sharp teeth.
Nobody and a daddy.
This ability seems to be similar to that of the Hulk's, although Jack turns a purplish red instead of green, and he seems a little more manic than the scientifically induced monster.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
In fact, he's probably more like the Hulk meets the Tasmanian Devil. Now that is something no regular human knows what to do with, let alone a villain.
Hey, little baby. Where are your...
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.
Надежда да се срещнем с очи. Може би няма начин да спрем.